Hello, everybody, and welcome to the second ever show on cooking that I have made. This is going to be on dicing an onion my way, which I find to be much more efficient and safer than if you watch the Food Network, what these so-called professionals teach. I think their way is really unsafe. You could slice your finger a lot easier. It takes more time, and it's all around more difficult. I like to keep things simple, so watch and learn. I will do more on knife skills later, but this is an important one, just really straight to the point, and you'll be dicing onions like a pro. My onion, I've already cut it in half, and I chopped the flower and end off, and then peeled it. You leave that root end, which is on the left, that will hold it together throughout this process, make it a lot easier. So, if you study your victim here, you can kind of look at the curvature and the structure of it, get a little guess on how to cut it so that each piece will come out more or less equal. From here, it's time to examine your weapon. I'm using an 8-inch Sentoku with Collins, which are these nipples here. They reduce the surface area of the knife, which reduces food stickage. How to handle your weapon. There's a balancing point. You try and find it. It's about where mine is there. This is a cheaper knife, so it's not quite balanced, but you pinch it there. You don't grab it with your hands like that, and obviously no stabbing. That doesn't cut very well. But a nice little grip there with two fingers. You use it as a pivot point, and that allows rocking. You see I'm just using my back fingers to kind of push the handle up, and if you start chopping fast, that really facilitates that. I'm going to hone my knife, and this is not sharpening. This is not a sharpening steel. People call it that, and that's wrong. But what you're doing is basically fixing the edge of your blade. So what does that do? If this is your blade, the tip, the edge, can kind of fold over either direction. So when you drag it across your steel, you're folding that back. You fold it the other side, and you're trying to end up with it straight. And so that's why you see me drag my finger across. If you don't want to do that and you're scared, doesn't matter. You don't have to. But that'll also remove burrs. So my first cuts, you can see, are going to be at this side, and it's going to go down into the center. It's angled downwards, and it's only about a 1/4 inch up. And we're going to do that both sides, almost down to the root, and that will hold everything together. So you can see it's angled down towards the center. And if you watch the TV chefs, they do slices going all the way up, and that's just kind of makes a mess. I'm very careful with my fingers, so don't stick your fingertip out like that. I generally hold the blade against my finger, but I curve my fingertips in so that they can't get in the way, and it makes it impossible to cut your finger. I have not cut my finger in over 12 years, and my knife blade is always against my finger. So, you know it works. It's very safe. But practice is all you need to really do. I mean, it took me probably a year, and I was chopping really fast. I just kept trying. The closer you cut on everything, the smaller your dice. So, and with this, I'm not quite using a sawing motion, but just going forward a bit. My knife is still cheap and dull for my standards, so it doesn't slice as nice as I'd like, but it still gets the job done. And you can see my fingertips are curved in just a little bit, and the knife edge is against my third knuckle there. So you don't need to break everything up. I'm just doing that to show how it looks. We need to kind of break it up and from there, this little end of the root, you can chop off a little bit more, and in the end, doing this, you have pretty much no scrap. Used up most of the onion. You can see that's almost nothing there. And get a little close up, you can see pretty consistent dice. Turns out pretty well. You can see that was really easy and going slow. You do this a couple times and you'll be really fast, and dicing an onion will be nothing. So there's a little bit of scrap.